We have Tomas Medeckis, who's the CEO at Welltrado. Welltrado is an already operating, scalable, blockchain-based platform that seeks to enable investors to buy and sell loans from thousands of loan providers globally, invest into P2P lending funds, and manage investment portfolios. Can you please give Tomas a very warm welcome to the stage?
Hi everyone, my name is Tomas. I'm the co-founder and the CEO of Welltrado. So Welltrado is a global blockchain-backed marketplace for the peer-to-peer lending platforms. We seek to connect more than 4,500 platforms and develop a network that would be beneficial for both investors and as well as peer-to-peer lending platforms. And there are several problems in the market. Cryptocurrencies are extremely volatile. It goes up and down each day, and basically that's not the most attractive and stable investment option. So another thing is that most of the crypto investors, they cannot easily diversify their investments and invest in more stable asset classes. Plus, in P2P lending industry, it's really hard to pick, let's say, the peer-to-peer lending platforms that would allow for you to invest in cryptocurrencies as well. And we have a solution. So basically, Welltrado is a global blockchain-based marketplace. We connect most of the peer-to-peer lending platforms here. And the most important thing is it doesn't matter how much you will invest in certain platform, but if something goes wrong and you might lose your investments after half a year, it doesn't matter what returns have been promised. So in our case, we seek to aggregate more than 15 different statistical metrics such as defaults, amount of late loans, where are the platforms regulated, who regulates them, and so on. And later on, to give a credit score for those ones. So the investors would know what they are risking in order to get the returns. We see as well that most of the market is moving to automation. So in 5 years from now, in most of the regions, it won't be possible to invest manually in the peer-to-peer lending loans. So we want to develop a fund that would diversify your investments in thousands of different peer-to-peer lending platforms. So in such a case, if something goes wrong with certain platforms in certain regions, you would lose just a small fraction of your investment. And that would allow for you to get much higher returns, plus the risk would go significantly down. So right now, we are developing an aggregator that connects most of the platforms in one place. We see that most of investors invest in 5 to 7 different platforms, and in many cases, we manage all the investment process in Excel files or even on paper. So it's not the, let's say, the simplest way and not the most convenient way. So in our case, we seek not only to develop a place where you can check the statistical data of the platforms, but invest directly through us in certain platforms. For example, right now it's quite hard to invest in certain regions like United Kingdom. You wouldn't be allowed to do that one from Lithuania, even if the returns might be more attractive for you. So talking about the market, right now it's around 109 billion euros, but in the next 6 years, it's expected to reach around 930 billion euros. And there are more than 4,500 platforms right now, and nobody knows what will be the number after 6 years. So we are already an operating platform. We have connected around 100 peer-to-peer lending platforms and 200 standing in the pipeline. We already linked around 1,500 different peer-to-peer lending investors who used our service and invested around 3.5 million euros. And what about the competition? Of course, we are quite unique in this one sector because there aren't so many guys or companies who are trying to connect the platforms in one place, give the credit scores, allow for small investors to invest in peer-to-peer lending platforms in one place. But we see some indirect competition like Orchard Platform or Orca Money or Black Moon that specifies in the specific field of certain things. So right now we are a commission-based platform that already gets investments once the investor is using our service, and we get from 1 to 8% from the invested amount. But besides this, as I mentioned, we are seeking to develop a fund that would allow for you to diversify your investments. However, most of the funds that doing we're taking a fixed fee, let's say 2% of your investments, and later on a profit fee on the top. So we want to be out of this one. So we want to take only the fixed fee from the investments that, let's say, the profit that investors did. So basically, if something goes wrong with our solution and we offer the wrong platforms, we are not taking the hands out and promising the best things for investors. So we are a great team, as everybody should say. We have more than 25 years of experience in asset management and financial sector, in technology. We know how to build traction from 0 to 100 million users. Right now we have 16 team members who are full-time involved in our project and hopefully to expand in the future. So right now we are preparing for the ICO. Our crowd sales will start on the 9th of April. We have 7 stages with different bonuses for investors. And the most interesting thing is that we also are burning our tokens. So all the model is driven by business. So it's not something forecasted what might happen in the future. We already know what are our customer acquisition costs and how much we can earn. So basically, all the payments that will be done on Welltrado will be done on our VTL token. And another thing is that part of the token will be burned. So the supply of the token will constantly decrease in the market. And that's the first indication for the token price to go in the future. So thank you for your attention. I'm Tomas, and just invest on the 9th of April.